Okay, so this one here, Natalie, why don't you describe how this one moved? Number 3.
Number 3, it moved to the right 2.
Right 2 and?
Up 1.
And up 1. Very good. And so they had the plus 1 here. It's the same thing as if I moved it and put the plus 1 over here. So it moved right 2 and up 1. And then you just did your V. Beautiful. All right, number 4. How did number 4 move? Chris, how did you do number 4? What did you guys do for this one? It was the half circle. And then what did the negative out in front do? Flipped over X. Very good. So anytime you got the negative in front, you're always flipping over X. And so it would just flip upside down. Okay? All right, good. Number 5. Jackie, how did that one move for you guys?
Okay, so you have the negative X to the third.
Good.
So it has to, like, both have to switch, I guess, like, flip. Like, it flips over the y-axis.
There we go. It flips over the y-axis. So that's all I would do there because the negative's right next to the x, so it flips over y. So we've got the cubic. So the first thing would be to flip it over y. We always flip first, so it looks like that. But then, Jackie, what do I still have to do? Move it down 2. Very good. So then I move that whole thing down 2. And it looks like that. Okay, so it's my final function. If you are doing lots of them on here, just always make sure I know which one's your final answer, all right? So either leave everything else dotted or highlight or do something so I can tell which one's my final answer. All right, this is one we just talked about, but I didn't record that, so let me record what I say here. So I would switch this inside so that it's got the negative on the outside, then this is negative x plus 2 plus 2. But then you always have to factor out the negatives. So that switches to a minus 2, and again, that's going to change the whole thing. The minus out front is flip over x. The minus on the inside is flip over y. This minus 2 means go right 2, and then up 2. So this is the radical function. It looked like this. If I flip over x, it comes down here. If I flip over y, it goes here. But then I still have to move it right 2 and up 2. And so this would be my final graph. Okay, so always remember, flip first. And again, flipping over x and y, either one you can do first. And then do your shifts left and shifts right. Okay?
So it's all like those flips.
All those flips, yeah. All those flips. Flip, flip, and then shift it left and right. We call those translations. Okay? All right. We'll get to practice in a minute in your practice packet, pages 13 and 14. I'm going to have you work on in class today, and those are going to be lots of graphs like this. All right? So let's talk about now segments, though, and how this would move a segment. Okay. So F is a line segment defined by these points. So 4, -1, and 2, 6. Okay? And these are like all different problems. A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. So what they want us to do is find the endpoints of the new segments. So if I take that function and I take x minus 3, how is that moving it, or how is that changing it? It's going to the right 3. Agreed? Okay. So I'm going to the right 3, which means how is that going to affect the coordinates of those points? So if the original one is at 4, -1, and I move it to the right 3, yeah, I'm just going to add 3 to the x coordinates, right? Because if I'm shifting to the right 3, that means I'm moving 3 x coordinates to the right. So this would now be at 7, -1. My y coordinate didn't change at all. And how about the second coordinate? Where would that be? At 5, 6. Make sense? Okay, look at B now, though. B is taking f of x and then adding 3 off to the side. How does that change it? Up 3. So which coordinate will that affect? The y, and I will add 3 to the y coordinates. So I'll now be at 4, 2, and 2, 9. You get it? Okay, so for C, f of -x means that I'm flipping over over y. Good. Which coordinate does that affect? It affects the x coordinate. It switches the sign of the x. That's exactly right. So instead of 4, -1, it'll be at -4, -1. And instead of 2, 6, it'll be at -2, 6. This one should just be a big minus out front. I don't know why it looks like 2 of them. So that's telling me to flip it over the x-axis. But what coordinate does that flip? The y coordinate. So this would be at 4, +1. And this one would be at 2, -6. And then I'll let you guys do the rest. Those were the easy ones. So now you're going to have multiple things, right? And that's why there's 2 lines. So I want you to do one shift at a time. So first do left 1, and then do down 1. So like left 1, I would -1 from the x's. So I'd get 3, -1, and 1, 6. But then down 1, I'd have to -1 from the y's. So 3, -2, and 1, 5.
Oh, so you do it.
So do them separately. Yeah. From the one where you, yes, exactly. So don't go back to the beginning one, right? So
You know what to do first.
it doesn't matter. Unless you're flipping, right? So me asked which one do you do first. You'll still get the same answer at the end with left and rights and ups and downs. The thing was, if you do have a flip involved, you have to do the flip first, and then you can do the other shift. Okay? And again, that's just a negative out front. All right, I will let you guys work on the rest of this page, and then we'll check your answers.